All right, let's dive into a story that's, believe it or not, over 2,000 years old. But the lesson in it, it is so sharp, so relevant, it feels like it could have been written this morning. It's all about a group of monkeys, their incredibly clever keeper, and a simple little trick that, well, it reveals a huge truth about how all of our minds work.
But first, let me just ask you a quick question. Imagine this is the deal you're offered. 3 nuts for breakfast and 4 nuts for dinner. What's your gut reaction to that? Does it sound fair? A good deal? Just hold that thought. So let's set the scene. Picture this, a beautiful, lush forest. It's home to a big, happy community of monkeys. And for the most part, life is pretty sweet for them. That is, until the seasons start to change.
Yeah, autumn rolls in and suddenly the food starts to get scarce. That peaceful troop of monkeys? Not so peaceful anymore. They're getting anxious, and you know what happens when there's not enough to go around? Fights start breaking out. The whole vibe of the community is getting tense.
Okay, so now we meet our main character, Zhuangzi. He's the monkey keeper, the leader of the troop. But here's the interesting thing about him. He doesn't rule by being the biggest or the strongest. Nope. His real power comes from this deep, almost uncanny understanding of how his monkeys think. He's less of a zookeeper and way more of a monkey psychologist.
So with his whole troop on the verge of total chaos over this food shortage, everyone's looking at Zhuangzi. What's he going to do? What kind of brilliant, genius plan is this wise leader going to come up with to solve this mess?
Zhuangzi calls all the monkeys together, and he very calmly announces his new rationing plan. He says, "Listen up, everyone. From now on, you'll get 3 nuts in the morning and 4 at night." Sounds reasonable, right? Problem solved.
Oh no, not solved. The monkeys absolutely lost it. Complete uproar. They were furious. Just 3 measly nuts in the morning? They felt totally ripped off, like, how are we supposed to start our day with that? And believe me, they were not shy about showing their anger.
So what does our wise leader do? Does he argue with them, pull out a calculator? Nope. He just pauses for a moment, and then he comes back with a brand new, revised offer. He says, okay, I hear you. My mistake. How about this instead? 4 nuts in the morning and 3 at night. And of course, as you can see, it's the exact same number of nuts. 7 is 7.
And the monkeys' reaction this time? Pure delight. They were thrilled, cheering. They felt like they'd just won this huge negotiation. 4 nuts in the morning? What a victory. And just like that, the fighting stopped. Peace was restored. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. How could they be so easily fooled? It's the simplest math in the world. But see, that's the entire point of the story. Zhuangzi wasn't trying to solve a math problem. He was solving a mindset problem.
Exactly. The real substance of the deal, the total number of nuts they got each day, didn't change one bit. What changed was how the monkeys felt about the deal. Their perception of it was completely different.
And this, right here, is the wisdom at the heart of the story. You know, real wisdom isn't always about changing reality itself. Sometimes it's about understanding how people perceive that reality, and then finding a better way to frame it.
It's so easy to sit here and laugh at those silly monkeys, right? So focused on what they get right away that they completely miss the bigger picture. But what if I told you we fall for this same exact trick all the time? Let's take a look at how this ancient tale plays out in our lives today.
Seriously, think about it. Every time you see an ad for buy now, pay later, that's the 4 nuts in the morning. You get the immediate joy of having that new thing right now. The paying part? Well, that's the 3 nuts at night we don't focus on as much. Same goes for finance. We get all excited about a small, immediate bonus instead of a much better long-term investment plan. Or in politics, where a small tax cut today sounds way better than a complex plan for long-term fiscal health. And don't even get me started on health. The immediate pleasure of junk food often wins out over the long-term benefits of eating well.
So here's the bottom line. Just like those monkeys, we are wired to focus on the immediate, on the way things are arranged on the surface. We get hooked by the morning nuts and often forget to even calculate the total substance of the deal. The framing can be more powerful than the facts.
Okay, so if we can all admit we have a little bit of that monkey brain in us, is there a way out? Can we actually train ourselves to stop obsessing over the morning handout and start seeing the whole day's total?
Well, the story gives us a pretty simple 3-step playbook. First, and this is crucial, just pause. When you get an offer that makes you feel really excited or really angry, resist that instant reaction. Just take a breath. Second, calculate. Do the actual math. Look past the slick presentation and figure out the total long-term outcome. What's the whole deal here? And third, reframe it. Literally ask yourself, wait a minute, Is this just a clever way of arranging the same 7 nuts?
At the end of the day, the goal isn't to become some kind of cynical, distrusting person. It's to be wise. It's about training our brains to see the whole picture, not just the shiniest part that's being dangled right in front of our faces.
So, I'll leave you with this to chew on. In your own life, in your job, with your money, with your health, what are the morning nuts that are grabbing all of your attention? And more importantly, what's the whole day's total that you might be completely ignoring because of it? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.